Morning, everybody. So, today is a very special day because we did finish the Age of Ulstrix, and we ended up beating Ulstrix despite him getting the Divine Sea Spear. So, even though I fucked up, I did. I wasted half my time. I was severely undergeared. We managed to save the world, and better yet, nobody died. So, as we begin episode 1 of the second season of A Wildermyth Tale, we have 4 stories that have been presented to us for the follow-up after the Age of Ulstrix, bringing this Wildermyth universe to us. I have a guest with me in Discord. She goes by Aurora for her handle, so I'm going to be reading the titles again in case you missed the last live, and then I'm also going to be going through the full descriptions of the stories for each one as I bring the stream up, and then I'm gonna have to retitle this here because Aurora's going to help choose a story after I tell all of you guys what all of these are. No pressure on her. This is super simple, and if she decides she can't choose because they all sound interesting, I'm just going to roll a d8 in the D&D chat that I have. So, good morning everyone, and welcome again to A Wildermyth Adventure, as told by TGK.
So the first option here for our stories is The Enduring War. A centuries-old war resurfaces, bringing with it questions of humanity, identity, and the price of ambition. This is a 5-chapter story where the Morthagi are the main threat. Option 2. The Monarchs Under the Mountain. Discontent, dashed dreams, destruction, and death. An underground cult thrives, lining its nest with disasters. If opposed, the ancient tyrannical powers behind it will bring battle to the life-loving, fierce, and free, before perhaps making them an offer. A 5-chapter story with the Deepists as the main threat. Option 3 being Eluna and the Moth. An old book and a young argument lead 2 siblings into the wilderness. Amid the bones of a mythic civilization, they'll embark on a moon-struck journey through tragedy and time, encountering a mysterious wastrel in the woods and bearing witness to the rise of a luminous queen. A 5-chapter campaign with the Thrixl as the main threat. And then lastly, All the Bones of Summer. Bones were buried here, bones were burned. In the ground where their beds all lie, all become fossils for fantasy. All become stories once true. They count on a dream as they spiral towards sleep. Fire follows fire until every color is ash. A 5-chapter story with the Drauven as the main threat. So those are the 4 stories. The little bit of background on the ending there. The main threat changes based on the story, obviously. The first one was about the Gorgons. So this game has 5 types of enemies. Gorgons being kind of like undersea aquatic mutants. Morthagi are a mix of human and machine-based undead. So that would be option 1. Deepists, option 2. You're familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, as hopefully a lot of my listeners are, and so you know what a drow is. So think of deepists like a human version of the drow, because this game doesn't have elves in it. Thrixl, for option 3, they're actually the enemy that freaks me out the most. They're an outsider, so they're not even of the same plane, and so they bring in the whole astral plane aspect from like how D&D has psionics. The difference is they're a mix of like worm-like creatures and dragons. So everything about them is either a worm or a dragon, even their humanoids. And they're one of the few enemies that have taken a character from me, but it was weird because the character literally just faded out of existence. Like he had a bad dream and then all of a sudden everyone was like looking at him and he turned transparent and then just was gone. Yeah, so being killed by the Thrixl is freaky, and I don't entirely understand it. Drauven, they remind me of like dragon-based kobold, not the hyena-looking kobolds. The only difference is they're a dragonoid human, or a draconic humanoid, that they're actually more akin to bird dragons, despite having a humanoid shape. They worship like a giant, they call it a Dracolich, but it looks like a basilisk that has, instead of chicken and like snake features, chicken and dragon features, and it actually has dragon wings. Yeah, really unique creatures in this game. And so they worship those kind of creatures, or like the birds that would be related to a Dracolich for the half-breed. And so they often have these birds with them, and they communicate through bird calls despite being dragons. Yeah. So those are the 4 options for a new campaign. After I go through the actual stories and then unlock the endgame story, which I haven't even unlocked right now, called The Sun Swallower's Wake, there's actually multiple points where I can revisit this after I move on to another project. Excuse me. Because there's custom chapters where you don't know the main enemy and it's just procedurally generated. It's pretty neat. She's a little stunned right now, folks. She's not sure which one to pick from. Yeah. Either the Enduring War, the Monarchs Under the Mountain, Eluna and the Moth, or All the Bones of Summer. Alright. So for Season 2, we're gonna visit my Wildermyth fears, and we're gonna deal with Eluna and the Moth. This is actually, having attempted this game before, but now adding a myriad of mods to not only change it, but mess with myself as I play, and add new stuff. Now I'm moving into more unknown territory, because the only 2 campaigns that I've done is I had finished the Age of Ulstrix previously, just having picked up the game. And I've played at, but never completed, the Enduring War. The Thrixl campaign is not one I'm familiar with, so this is going to be a fun read-along for everyone. Here's our random seed. We are going to continue Carved in Stone, meaning all progress is autosave. There's no save scum. This is an adventure. We're going to treat this like real D&D. You die, you die. Main enemy, Thrixl. We're going to keep it on adventure. Standard difficulty. Let me move this. That shouldn't be in the camera spot. Oh, I left the bottle where the camera can see it, so everyone had a chance, if they were paying attention, to see my bong. The question is, what kind of party is it going to give me? Because I know some of these 5-chapter ones pull from your legacy pool too, so it's possible that we might see one of the Rascals of the Straken Glory in this campaign. Which the Rascals of the Straken Glory was the party that had defeated Ulstrix in Season 1. Which, I think today is Wednesday. Episode 3 goes live on YouTube at 2 p.m. Pacific time today. So if people haven't seen it, they can see episodes 1 and 2 are already up. Episode 3 will be up today later. It is dark o'clock, sunrise here where I'm at. I wake up before the sun usually. I have to do this when the babies are sleeping, unless y'all want screaming kids in the background, which personally I don't while I'm trying to read. I read to them separately when they want to sit. Is that mod too much? We're gonna reload it real quick. My bad. Actually, y'all usually don't get to see this part, so on the loading screen here, if you did see Season 1, you'll notice that there's a Stone Spirit is what this one would be. Very similar to the Fire Spirit that Medessa had interacted with, and the Wood Spirit that, oh god, names. Kelter had interacted with. The random names is gonna get me, I swear. Because names aren't my forte. I had to pull up his face. Think about his voice. As Kelter would say, "You're totally good. Don't worry. We just have to make sure we get this done." So, alright. Yeah, Rascals of Straken Glories, none of them there. Okay, it didn't create an extra story when it crashed. So, off we go. Eluna and the Moth. I think this time, because we don't have to click out of it, it won't yell at me. Well, because it is procedurally generated in every campaign, even if you play the same one, it generates an entirely new map and everything. It takes a minute sometimes. Alright, so we have 4 party members, 2 of which are mystics, an older and younger sibling, and then we have we have the option of having 2 legacy characters return. That's exciting. So, they picked Astelia and Ellensoon. I think we're gonna bring Kelter back. Especially given that out of them, he's the one that's got a transformation. So we're gonna let people from Season 2 really, or people who are just coming into Season 2, really be a little confused with that transformation. They will even go to inspect. For those of you just tuning in, they do have their own kind of stats and setup. And you can see here that he's got various stats here. And his personality is such, we're not going to change him. We like Kelter Wooly the way he is. And so, you'll notice under abilities, he is going to show up with his rapier and shield, but he still has the transformation of he's got a woodwind body. The man is a walking instrument. Then we can pick a couple of his abilities to bring into the campaign. So we're going to give this man his Slayer ability and Embolden. So these are going to be his abilities for the campaign, given that he is a folk hero, or he is a local legend. People know who Kelterwooly is. For our hunter, given that, you know, they got a long history, we might as well bring Medessa back, even though these two have a history of being rivals. The only thing is, Medessa is still going to be sporting that, never mind. False alarm. Medessa is still going to be sporting the petrified right leg she earned from fighting the Gorgons. And we're going to let her keep that adrenaline rush because that was a boon. Free swift actions, as many as she can. That's also going to come in handy with the fact that she's down a leg. She's got one whole petrified leg. Oh yeah, that's what happens in this game. If you get an actual injury or affliction, it does stick with you. So that's what actually happens when a character loses in combat. Once they can actually manage to heal themselves or like stay alive, but they get a negative and they have to retreat, or they have to they die. And so the affliction is randomized, and because she lost to a purebred Gorgon, not one of the mutants that they make, and this Gorgon specifically is known for petrifying people, which was a point in the story that happened in episode 2. They had encountered one of these in a barn where everybody in the town was petrified. Well, after losing, it was attempting to petrify her, and she managed to hold the petrification to just her leg. So that takes care of our legacy characters now. We're going to randomize the siblings. Go ahead and say when, Aurora. Do me a favor and say when. You're good, just say stop or say when. I'm just randomizing a character. Doesn't matter. I'm literally hitting a random button. So you have randomed for our future mystic a romantic poet by the name of Tarwin. She's going to be the younger sibling. Go ahead and one more time for the older sibling. So, the older sibling is going to be a decisive greed wagon by the name of Pemshit. Oh, 3 women right off the bat. Alright, I'm going to be working today. Here we go. Growing the lands. It takes a bit of time to pull all this together. Get ready. I have to have the distinction too between my normal talking voice when I'm explaining things and then the narrator's voice. Alright, so looks like in this campaign we are going to see everybody except the Gorgons from the previous campaign. Looks like after Ulstrix got his butt kicked, he needs a break. So we have Morthagi, who previously were not in the campaign. We The Thrixl are the main enemy, and we've got the Drowvin and the Deepists. Looks like these are the calamity bonuses they get, so they're already getting damage bonuses and armor bonuses and health bonuses. And the types of monsters we're going to see for the Deepists is the Woken and the Slingers, so standard melee and ranged. For the Drowvin, we're going to see darts and stumps, so standard melee and ranged, with their ranged having bonus health. And we're going to see Storm Throats, so a tier 1 commander, or the lowest tier commander. These guys are going to start using special abilities and harassing us with birds. For the Morthagi, same thing, standard melee and ranged. The Spectic, which is a one-armed claw monster, and a Sommelier, which is kind of an alchemic spitting or acid spitting machine skeleton. And then the Watchmen, which they're a higher tier ranged unit, often doing kind of an overwatch. They use crossbows. Looks like the Thrixl themselves are keeping it pretty low key, just their basic melee and ranged, with the melee having bonus health. And the first comic strip is All You Can Bring, All You Can Chase by Douglas Austin. I know, big difference between my regular talking voice and the narrator's voice. Memories and dreams, those lightless gleams that our eyes seek unfinding. They take us from tables and summon us home, warmly felt and ever fading. Somebody's walking through the woods here. A prodigal child of Bumblebloom returns, a grown man. He comes with a traveled mind, remembering this pasture for fools who don't worry when the afternoon fades. Here again, changed and not. I suppose everyone's grown up now. Strange. Kelter has no plan to stay. Squelch! Some kind of gnarly squelch noise, and surprised Kelter. Oh, it's a pig! He seeks a certain book from a famed Bumblebloom library. One he's found before, and never long forgets. The pig's just kind of snorting at him. Ah, we have Tarwin and Pemshay now. Nope, those are the ones I had you stop on the random. Let's see.
None of these Hanaru Gwalda books are, very romantic, are they? I want more books like Tree by the Lake, and... or...
Tarwin and Pemshay are sisters.
What's that one you've got?
Both possess the Mystic's gift.
This is... actually... I don't honestly know.
Neither of them knows it yet.
What do you mean by...
The drawings of nightmare beings haunt every page. Pemshay and Tarwin flip through it.
writings? Kyorin, what's it called? Dread Compendium. This was just sitting on the shelf? Here in the dark? Must be rare. Maybe expensive? What's the deal with curing books? They didn't do printing, did they? Right. Guess they didn't have it. I think this is one of a kind.
Looks like Kelter just walked up.
Well, that's strange. They found it for me.
Noticing the newcomer, Pemche snaps the cover closed.
Kelta Woolley?
Is that Pemche Wavering? Have I been gone that long? Folks used to call you Cricket.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't like it.
Well, listen,
Oh, did you ever meet my little sister? I'm Tarwin Lockless.
Yeah, don't remember. I need that. Sorry.
Need what?
Kelter just swipes the book. No chill. My man's on a mission. And he's seen some shit, so I don't blame him. Kelter takes the book from Pemche's weak hands and walks out. No chill. Absolutely no chill. Alright. I think for this we are going to roll the d6. So on a 1 or 2, it's going to make Tarwin and Kelter rivals. On a 3 or 4, it's going to make understanding begin to develop. I should say bitter feelings will take root for option 1. A natural understanding begins to develop for option 2, or for option 3, a flicker of longing heats Tarwin's chest for a 5 or 6. So we're gonna pop over here. We're gonna grab the D&D chat, and we're gonna roll that famous 1d6. What is it? It rolled a 5. Obviously, Tarwin likes the those a few words. Makes me wonder how Estelia's gonna feel about that, or Gray. The man's got a wife and kid. I mean, it's a new story, so they might cut that out. Skipping any further reunions, Kelter leaves Bumblebloom in the hour he's returned.
You want to go after him, don't you? I'm bound to follow him. I just know it, somehow.
Sounds like a childish romantic. Young, you're warned that anyone might be anyone. Someday, that all you bring and all you chase will choose your mapless way. The sun is already low when they embark. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna do the short intro like they did with the Age of Ulstrix. We have a strict, we gotta go here, but if you see, so Aurora, because you haven't seen season 1, and I'm gonna do a quick recap for everyone because of how it's working. This is the world map if you're watching the stream. You see Bumblebloom here, and the 2 tokens for our characters. And the area that they're supposed to explore is the Windy Spring Timberland. It's a pine forest. We've got our little scout symbol there and the main quest symbol for following Kelter. On the right or left side of the screen here, you'll see the faces of the party. And for Tarwin Lockless, you'll see that she's got 6 out of 6 health. She's still an 18-year-old farmer. They have not received their adventurer class yet. Still no abilities. Retirement age 50. recovery rate. So yeah, they're still farmers, basic. Same thing with Pemshay. Only difference is she's a 21-year-old farmer. Retirement age is still 50. So the neat thing about this game is the characters actually grow and evolve just like in real D&D. They start with farmer's clothes, and when they get their adventurer class, they'll get a basic adventurer's outfit for their class. But as you find them gear, find them armor, accessories, and weapons, even the image and their token changes. Which is kind of neat, that the characters grow as you play the game. It's kind of in the same case as Kelter. When he got the transformation, he actually now begins to look like a woodwind instrument. His leg has also transformed. And it lowers his health, but it gives him bonus speed and dodge, which he's a dodge tank warrior, so that works out great. And so we're going to tell these two to go and scout. And the next comic strip for the intro to Eluna and the Moth is Eldstone by Douglas Austin.
These stories were drafted in trails. Know where that line's from? Loomis, wasn't it? That storyteller Mom loved? Yeah. Codander Loomis. It's from Wandervane. These stories were drafted in trails, scribbled onto landforms, in a lettering of dustprint, crushed clover, and the blood I left on briars. Each moth-blotted figure traced in Moon's hand. These stories of mine are transcribed moonlight, but they were inverted by my feet. I think Loomis was the first writer who got me thinking about the fabric of storytelling.
Gah! Seems to be a crow in the background. The first evening comes. Distant hills grow long bluish beards. The girls seem to spark a fire for the evening.
I'm just realizing. We're going to miss the cider tapping. All for this book. How far behind would you guess we are? What do you think he thinks of me?
The sisters look at each other, one puzzled and the other equally puzzled, just with her sister.
I wonder what sent him away. Kelter Woolley. He was an older teenager when he left. Mom was alive. How young were you? Not that young, probably.
I can't look at Kelter right now entirely. I forgot to check and see actually character sheets. I should be able to see him. So he's 25. So yeah, it did go backwards in time. So this would be before he met Estelia, because she joined in the second. No, she joined in the first episode, if I remember correctly. She joined as the additional party member, but they didn't fall in love until episode 2 towards the end. So this would be before he falls in love with Estelia. So Gray's not born yet.
And then, so now, what's brought him back?
They eventually lie down to sleep. But sleep's elusive on the naked ground. The dew chills their skinny limbs. They stare at the dawn.
My neck feels roped to my shoulder. Maybe as our muscles warm up.
The going only gets steeper and further from anywhere they've been.
This explains that physique.
She's over there daydreaming while she's climbing a mountain. It doesn't take long for Kelter to realize he's being followed. Alright, I gotta clear my throat. Give me half a sec, folks. Oh no, you're fine. That's usually what I say before I light the bottle. I just don't usually even say it that bluntly. I put in there on my Twitch that yes, there is use of alcohol and legal drugs, but I still don't like to be blatant with it. Well, it is too in certain parts of Europe. Though, yeah, it's a big thing. And it's all back and forth, depending on where you are. And in Kelter's case, he drives a harder pace. But the sisters Lockless prove persistent. Spirited in their pursuit, if not particularly wise. At this point, it looks like the sisters are having fun. They found them a bottle of wine and they're drinking by the fire as they chase this man. The 8th day dawns gray. They enter the ruins at noon. Stone walls, flailed at by wind and years, stand stubborn where they were founded. One of the last unburied skeletons of old Cure. Oh, shit. Actually, I'm a little shocked. They're actually going to the ruins of an ancient civilization. So, that's cool.
This is Elstone. Has to be. I remember you wanting to come here, back before. We hiked a long way. At least it's something to see. I doubt we're catching Kelter at this point, right? Should we think of heading home? See those metal points on the highest pillars? I read that those were for trapping lightning. Cure and sorcerers, they'd harness it somehow. Think we'll get a storm? Hey, Tarwin. You went through that phase where you were all about the Curans, started learning moon reading, blasted through the histories. You remember that? Yeah, I was obsessed. So, how about this place? Think there's some old magical treasures buried here.
Oh, Pemshe's thinking, and I like where she's going. That'd be me.
Well, Elstone was a whole settlement, they think. You know how you hear about the castle knights, lords and all? A lot of that's Cure, I guess, beyond the traditional stuff. What I remember, what I read, and I did read everything I could find. They were people, like us, but they knew secrets that have long since been lost.
Cure in life remains in most ways a mystery. They built grand halls, keeps, wrote epics, charted stars, made things, beautiful things.
Many of their stories survive and get put in our language, but a lot of the original meanings are lost. Story, song, and dream, they celebrated these things, but feared. They feared. How do I explain it? It's like they believe deeply in the power of imagining. They're poems that skirt and outline some dreadful idea. A threat?
What was that, Aurora? Actually, I'm glad I thought I heard you say something. For the people watching the stream, this is a good interjection to point out the Kurans that she's referencing. You'll notice they don't look like normal humans. And the reason for that is they all seem to have transformations from what I'm seeing. So they're evolved humans, is what the Kurans might be from what I'm seeing. And I say that because the first guy seems to have like shadowed eyes, like he's turning into a shadow elemental. And the woman, she has stars in her hair, like actual stars and constellations. And so the reason that is because that's actually another perk you can get transformation wise, that eventually your character will turn into a celestial entity and you will become made of stars. And so I think that's what they're hinting at with the Kurans having knowledge and understanding beyond how they do now, because the transformations are still kind of a mystery when you discover them, or they're always like weird, kind of the same way that when Kelter gained his woodwind body, he was just chasing a song that was in his heart, in his head, that he couldn't get out. What if it's like that for us? You know, if we actually listen to ourselves and chase things. A little philosophy. We'll throw that in another chat, maybe, if people want to have a philosophy, and I'll just hop in the just chatting at some
point. I don't know, but it's assumed they made an awful enemy. And now we have ruins.
You know what that always means. Mysterious elder version of your species. They had a mysterious, dangerous enemy that they were hinting at, and all you have left is ruins? They lost.
Oh well. Old makes way for the new. We probably aren't alive if something didn't crush this place. Course of events and all. Mom said we supposedly have a Curan bloodline. Pretty sure she was just stoking my imagination, but...
The air splits shrilly open. Scream! From clattering piles, a creature skitters that's unlike anything they've seen. Twin faces leer. The future forks down two horrible throats. Startled, and see we got two options, so I can flip the coin for this one. Our options are startled. Tarwin bends for a fallen branch. Pemshe takes out a soup spoon. Or reacting. Tarwin draws her trusty spoon, while Pemshe grabs an old hard bow. So, heads for option 1, tails for option 2. We're going to spin the coin. I think that's a little more effective for We're gonna spin it right here. I think that's a little more effective for one or two choices. If I don't shoot the coin off the table. Now that we've got the coin on the table, tails, option 2. In that moment, the dormant power in their blood awakens. Screen even shown kind of a yin-yang, older sibling in the dark, younger sibling in the light of the aura. So for Tarwin, she's now a greenhorn mystic, and we have the option of choosing Dusk, Healing Waters, or Bone Collector. I like that one, but I think we're gonna go Dusk just because I had a feeling that she would also get Bone Collector, but yeah, no, Bone Collector for one of them. Oh, she doesn't get the bone. She doesn't get it here. Okay. But she gets her Dusk. I should have chosen Blizzard then. At least then I'd have my ability. So, looks like Kelter's here too. He's on the other side of the map. We are to kill all the enemies, and more Thrixl are coming. So, we are now in combat. It is a tabletop, as you can see here. We're going to interfuse, or in the case of mystics, they kind of throw their soul at things and connect to it, and it allows them to cast magic using what they connect their soul to. We're going to use the Discus ability from the Rock Sphere on the Thrust, and hit one back. Because there's nothing really for Big Sister to interfuse to. She's going to move up. Interfuse to the turn up here. And the ruined wall here. And Kelter is going to come over here and smack a Thrusk. It blocked. He blocked and dodged. Yeah, these things attack twice because they have 2 heads. So I'm immediately fighting an enemy that gets double attacks. Man, he's stinky, is he? He's not playing. Holding everybody. Still blocking attacks. that's the other thing. Thrixl can also interfuse and attack using the interfuse mechanic, so that's another reason I don't like fighting them. They're basically all mystics. All of them. Splinter Blast, I ended up hitting both of those, and then the Wild Grasp was another one because flanking bonus. I love how you can flank using magic and what angle your spells come from. And that's an Awakened Thrusk. Yeah, Thrixl are all also transforming. So that's why they don't need as many units, because each unit has 2 forms, so they immediately started with 4. Joke's on me. Somebody must be mad at me. Oh, Illuminate. It's a fire. Steel fire. Yes, we are going to throw the fire at the desk, and we're going to leave the fire where it's sitting, because light that up are on fire. Yeah, Thrixl were immediately worth 10. That's how you know this ain't gonna be a joke of a campaign. And I barely survived the Age of Ulstrix. We're gonna reward the loot to Tarwin because she did the work. This comic strip is Enchanted by Douglas Austin. The final shriek shakes columns, bounces along causeways, as rattling legs shudder still.
Stay ready, Tarwin. In case they're not... Wait. We just did magic, didn't we? Is that your spoon you're using? Not an especially arcane choice.
Stop talking. And here, take the book.
Sorry we followed you. Hey, old book might be worth something.
Shh! Kelter tosses them the book. Oh, see, yeah, this is the shit that I don't like. This is how Thrixl killed too. Although, it's appropriate that I picked the song hero. He's literally a woodwind instrument. Fight me. I'll play my own song. The softest song tickles their ears. A hum so gentle, it sounds like a windy lie. Like boughs growing in a breeze. Like gaps in walls breathing in a gust.
Lee Raytroft, are you out there?
Kelter's shout is warped by sudden, sweet-smelling fog. The fog floats from everywhere, turns archways into ogres, rubble into roaming ooze.
Madam Raytroft, please. Madam Raytroft, I'm here.
Who are you shouting for? And what, is...
And what are they doing? walking. Are they searching? What are they searching for?
Madam Raytrot. Rafetrot.
What are they searching for? Through stone and fog and trees. What are they doing? And what are they? And there's a lot of glowing eyes. I don't like it. It looks like Tarwin suddenly understands.
I'm walking in the forest.
Huh?
Yeah. What?
Tree trunks gather around them like gawkers. Sunbeams stroke their face.
We alright? What happened?
We were... I don't know. Somehow they...
Who is they?
Thrixl. There must have been more of them.
Okay. And when you say that word, Thrixl, my body hurts.
Thrixl. The Thrixl. There. Remember that book?
This book?
Yes. The important thing is, they're capable of, how do I say...
Actually, now would be a good time for this. Hold.
Now I'm gonna copy.
Capable of captivating the mind, grounding three birds with a glamour, sending them stumbling far to die.
That thing looks like a puppet. It's creepy. So, after learning what I did wrong in Season 1, we will use that mechanic for odd creatures like this. They become cool. The rakish stranger pauses to be seen. How long had he been standing there? He offers some kind of perfunctory salute.
Yes, little nest-grown dears, you might have been food for wolves and weasels, but a man happened by who bore a gift for magic, a glyphic smile, and an enduring fondness for birds.
His speech glides perfect and strange. Skimming steps whispers him near.
Is that one of them? The...
Thrixl? It's only likely.
This one's wearing pants. I am not one of anyone, and certainly no one so unpleasant. I am called the Mothman, whereversoever I am called. I am the only one there is.
His articulations are uncomfortable on the eye. Spider precise.
Simply look at me, not whole human, but half and half better. I am man and more. He seems alright.
Seems is a weapon they'll wield like a sword.
Simply look at me. And that is a bright warning. Pithy and true. Fortunately, as I have just finished saying, I am no Thrixl. Now forestall your misplaced animosity and listen. I found you three in Sorcel, wandering deep in the woods, removed from any reasonable roam. Where unreason reigns, Thrixl hide their aims. And that is one of mine, but you can use it. For one with my abilities, gathering you and waving away your enchantments was a trifle, a matter of politeness, and yet the ones who cast these webs, they are not the dull drones they appear to be. They are imaginative. They expanded thought on removing you. They must have deemed the flimsy birds dangerous to their designs. So I am struck with wondering, why would they think that? You must admit, it's a curious thing. Pemche and me? Dangerous? Only to books, wine, and wedding spreads. God damn it.
They're really playing romantic. What kind of romantic is she? Oh god, she's the romantic poet. That makes so much sense.
Think they've got something they want to keep us from getting?
It'll be dark soon.
The Mothman follows Quelter's eyes. He lifts his glance to the shadowy leaves. And that's when Kelter leaps. The Mothman doesn't seem to hurry, but Kelter tackles air.
Tell me where Madame Raiftrot is. Tell me, you cursed thing.
Ah, dear nestling, follow your own wings back if you are brave. See what is heaping under their shroud, but be warned. You may once more wish your sight sweetly veiled.
He turns to leave.
Hey Mothman, why should we believe you? You are lost in the woods, my dear. Whom you believe makes no difference. Oh, and
Borrowed shadows flush and drip from trees cohere around him. The forest bleeds black.
I do suggest little birds flock together. You would never guess how many owls there are in the night.
Sudden as darkness clotted, the last light smears it away. They stand where a Mothman might never have been. Trees crowd thicker.
Which way did we even come from? How far did we walk without knowing? I'm not really hungry. Did we eat? Sleep? I'm sorry, Kelter. That name, Lee Rafetrot, right? You shouted it when we were in the ruin. Someone special to you. You don't have to talk about it if it's...
Kelter whips around.
It's okay. Lee Rafetrot is who taught me the sword. Among other things, she made me hide.
Hide?
They begin to walk.
From the Thrixl. Came and they took her. Took everyone but me. None of us knew enough. Knew anything. Knowledge is the first step. Come on. I think we ought to head south.
The sisters look at each other.
These stories of mine are transcribed moonlight. But they were invented by my feet. Feels optimistic suddenly to think that we're the ones in charge of this tale.
And on they walk.
The sad leaguelets. I shall stitch for them a hero name. They may someday need it.
The Mothman names the company. Y'all are just gonna get to see my background off and on through this, because the fact that I need the double voice to do this is both cool as well as weird and kind of awkward. Eventually I'll find a better way to do it. Right now it is what it is. But I like the names that the Mothman came up with. So the options are the Guardians of the Barren Fog, or Frog. Guardians of the Barren Frog. That's a lot less cool. Guardians of the Barren Fog. The Warlock's Epoch. Like what? And Servants of the Lioness Roaming. That's a mouthful. I think we're gonna be called Warlock's Epoch. It does. So, I think that one was a no-brainer, no need to roll dice or anything. So this comic strip is... By the way, since you're listening in, how you enjoying it so far? Nice. Just getting some feedback from Aurora, if you guys aren't able to hear. I'm not entirely sure. It's the first time I've had actually someone sit in my Discord through a stream, so... yeah. The interestingness of having... And it's told by comic strip, so it is basically like reading a book, too. Except for except for the combat is the actual game board, which plays very similar to tactical turn-based RPGs like XCOM or Phoenix Point, or some more common ones being like the Dungeons and Dragons turn-based games or Fire Emblem. The only difference being they have cover mechanics and such like Gears of War Tactics or XCOM to go along with the fact that you're using magic and flanking and then the world map it's an overworld game board, so you still have that turn-based, but you're moving by region, which is what they're seeing in the stream. Actually, I should be able to... Haha, I can. So there you go. So, in the background you can kind of see it behind the comic. That's the overworld, and I love how they hide it too. The hand-drawn clouds that eventually disappear as the world opens up. So this comic strip is Home, Little Birds by Douglas Austin. Here follow the tale of Warlock's epoch. Fly home, little birds. So, we are lost in the woods, nowhere near a town. The world map has expanded. So now in the corner, you can see that the girls have mage robes instead of farmer's clothes, and Tarwin is wearing the sash she found and is equipped with the spoon, just like Pemche is equipped with the staff. So there's some real evolution from these girls having no weapons and wearing farmer's clothes. Now the trick is finding the way back. There's no real point to securing any areas like we did in the previous scenario. So far, I guess we're just gonna scout. And the Mothman advised that the little birds should stay together. Everybody seems to be really good at scouting, which is usually a hunter thing, so I think there's a story-related reason why everybody's good at scouting. So, this comic is Catching Up by Douglas Austin. Pemche walks with her nose in the Dread Compendium.
You can read it.
I wish I knew Kyorin. No, I was only fascinated with the sketches. Burned those drawings into my brain as a kid. Saw my first Thrixl. It was an image came off the pages. It was like an image came off the pages.
We've been lucky with the weather. That's something. But also here's a question. Where'd you get that word? Thrixl.
Madam Lee used it. Believed it's wild speech. Lee came from hill painting people.
One of us did, in fact, study the language. Right, Tarwin? You read Old Kyorin. Oh, maybe, yeah. Problem is, there's 2 different letterings. I'm good with one, but not the other. Need a desk and some work paper.
You must be pretty bright.
I mean, Kelter, come explain something else. What's the connection with Eldstone? Was there something important there? A relic, or...
The ruin? People said it was haunted. Gloam lights, fleeting noises, disappearances. Rumors I heard as I made my way home. It sounded like a likely spot.
The storm catches their heels. It latches on long enough to leave them soaked, then runs east.
In the end, I was half right. The Thrixl were there, but Madam Lee wasn't.
You risk a lot for this woman, Lee. It's brave. Hard for me to understand, actually.
Brave is just a masking word. People have reasons.
Can I have my bed shirt back? Sure. It's damp, but at least the book's dryish.
Last thing I'm wondering is your magic. Is my memory lying? You both worked magic in that ruin. Your mom's the lady who runs the print shop. Leona Lockless, right? Does she know? Does she also have powers?
Lost our mom to autumn fever 4 years back. A lot of folks in town didn't make it.
Oh, sorry then.
No, it's fine. We're mostly fine now. Not even sure how to answer you, though. When do you call something magic? It wasn't like using a thing. It was almost as simple as shaking hands. Like shaking hands with creation. Right, Tarwin? No, yeah, something feels off. Do you feel it?
What do you mean, off?
I don't know. Weird. The air's tensing up. Something's moving out there.
Should assume the worst. You can do magic. Do you know how? Or can you at least fight?
Answer's almost secondary, right? Time will tell us what's true.
The threat closes in around them.
Stay out of the way. And we're all learning, really. If you spot a pattern, shout it out.
Wouldn't be strange if...
In that moment, Pemshe locks eyes with Kelter. Realization blossoms between them both. Oh God. I gotta flip a coin on this one. Unless you want to have some input on the comic strip you see. Right? The choice of a defensive strategy or a love triangle. Leave it to the peanut gallery, alright? We'll have this be a troublesome feeling. And they're gonna be caught off guard.
Tarwin, I have to tell you something. I'm not sure when. Or if I even... I know. I think I knew from the start. In my head. Or my chest somewhere.
Let's survive. Then whatever else we need to hash out, we can do that.
At least he's sensible. Alright, so we've got Thrusk, Dweavers, and they brought out the Seeker. So now there are technically 6 type of Thrixl, because these fuckers can transform. Oh yeah, you missed it. In the first one, it showed the Thrusk in the transformed version, and it looked like a 2-headed dragon, instead of the little worm thing. So that's why I said, this is not going to be fun, and this is one of the enemies that makes me go, ugh. Because once I hit a certain point, and that's approaching very quickly, even I'm not going to know what to expect from the regular enemies, let alone their transformed versions. And once we see the Bard, I'm officially in the dark. And these things kill by song, imagination, and dream. Sounds like I'm fighting fucking Gear 5 Luffy. I mean, that's his power. Imagination. The man can fight using his imagination. If that ain't Thrixl, then I don't know what is. So that's terrifying to consider. I'm fighting an entire race of Gear 5 Luffy. Because what's worse is all of these things can do the same kind of interfuse magic that I can do. Which means I can't take cover behind anything. You're fine, go do what you gotta. Enjoy. Glad you enjoyed. I'm gonna be posting the links in the link news and stuff, so you can get caught up on season 1 there. Catch you later. For the rest of y'all, enjoy the combat. We're gonna get through at least the intro of this campaign for episode 1, because I'm definitely intrigued now that I've been pulled into the dark mists of dealing with the Thrixl. And we're gonna try to pin the sequel. Which failed. With these rocks here. Cool, they're moss covered rocks, we can pin the seeker there. Because with flanking it was easier. And Celtic come down. And strike the seeker again, flanking. Having that bone collector follow Kelter for, you know, defensive back. Locked in stasis. Can't take any actions. Cannot be targeted by foes. Can be removed by an ally. Oh, that's it. Thank God. Remove stasis. Fact is, though, imagine them putting half the party into stasis. Terrifying. I don't like these things. I really don't. That stump, and you want to interfuse me, I'm gonna hit you with Splinter Blast. Over here by the sister. get a bone lance in the back. And there's still more of them. Alright. Guardian, and he's going to take up the rear. I'm supposed to kill all enemies, but I'm not seeing anyone. Let them both get some nature shield. There's the last one. Have them stay behind the rocks, you might not even see them. Not going to move up to that rock because it's interfused, which makes it dangerous. I don't trust interfusion because I know what you can do with it. Kelter can come around right here. Yeah, he goes up by 10. These things are dangerous. Gloom Glass Ring, a stunt chance. She has no stunt chance, but she has some. For now, we'll give it to Kelter because he's got the stunt chance. Catching Heat by Douglas Austin. Scrambling to higher ground, leaving a wake of twisted Thrixl bodies, the three of them stand, breathing hard. Late gray sun squeezes past the clouds. All gone?
Think so. Think so. Getting out of here might be smart.
While we have light, yeah.
Silence wraps their party until trudging steps start to sound like unsaid words.
Kelter, Tarwin, can we talk? I want to say that this journey's been the most confusing, most You have a thing for him, right? Well, Believe me, my insides are tangled, my thoughts directionless. But I wouldn't stand in your way. Kelter, do you have feelings for my sister?
How am I gonna say? I don't know her heart or yours, darling. I rarely think about the hearts of people. But it's sort of been infecting me, I guess. I am experiencing feelings for you, Pemshay. I don't know what to do with that, but
Oh? Wow. You kinda stole my thunder. Well, look, I just think we'd be good together. We'd keep a good house. We'd pull together across time and circumstances. I'm glad. I am. You two walk ahead. I'll give you room to talk.
Along the weather-struck road, two wandering hearts find their paths have washed together. Tarwin, young and sky-searching, yearns suddenly for a detour, a solitary trip to the ravening, wish-eating sea, to lie down for a while and lose her longing. The enemies have improved their strategies, so the Seekers have been added as a Thrixl card. Kind of saw that coming, story introduction. Still can't secure areas. Okay. All three heroes must survive too. That's the thing. So I'm gonna take the exploration. I'm gonna take my time with this one too, because they're not pressing me. They just want me to go somewhere. So Tell Me a Story by Anne Austen.
did you see the huge moth that landed in Pemshay's hair earlier today?
How could I not?
And weren't you going to say anything? She walked around with it for like an hour.
The two of them laugh.
You think you could tell a story? I don't need my last thoughts of tonight to be of Thrixl.
Well, what would you like to hear?
I think we're gonna roll the d6 for this. And so you guys can see. Looks like he just wants to hear about Tarwin.
Nothing too fantastic. Just tell me something that happened to you.
Gotta think now.
Okay.
Tarwin told Kelter about a blue jay who used to perch just outside her kitchen window. The bird's trust was more easily won than that of most wild creature, especially with the nuts from Tarwin's pantry.
Sapphire, I called him. Jays demand regal names, you know. He always cocked his head just as if he were listening. And there was a lot for him to hear. It was a time of breaking downs and moving ons.
The two sit around the fire.
Please tell me he doesn't get eaten by a cat next.
Not that I saw. He just eventually stopped coming. Funny thing though, the last time he visited, he brought me a present. A stone. Not too big, but almost perfectly round. I've kept it ever since, wearing its surface smooth, with any worries or thoughts I have.
You think it could be magic?
If rocks have any insight, they speak it more deeply than a person can hear.
Let the poets talk philosophy around a fire, why don't you?
It listens, and that's enough.
I think all these fights are going to happen at night because I'm dealing with Thrixl. That, and if you look, it's also because they're warping reality. To the lamp and the workbench with Pemche. We're gonna have Tarwin come up. She can infuse with the metal bucket and the wagon. And he's gonna intensify. She blocked the flame trap. I want to trap the Thrixl as they come near. Take care of that secret with the bone construction. Cool, they're all in range. I'm going to flare them and see if I can't blind the Thrixl. It's also going to make it dark. With that, I can move Kelter up, and he'll actually be blind thrust, so I'm going to get rid of that. Splinter Blast up at the thrust, that gets rid of the wagon. That Kelter take a couple steps up, he can still flank it. My guys can move through the area I trapped. Yeah, if I want to damage my bone collector, I can't use barrage. I am going to move Pemche in, excuse me. I'm going to interfuse with this cloth sack up here just so I can get some vision further up. Just to make sure there's nothing up there. And this far from the workbench. Step there is pinned. Try to hit Tarwin. Got blocked. I was going to cast Shackle on it. We're just going to shred some armor and pin it again. And a slam from the collector. I'm surprised that was the last one. A Cloak of Block. Hemshade. Yeah, that fits her outfit. Seekers do more damage now. Still just the gather. There's no infestations, no calamities. And they're not setting up to do any, like incursions. It's interesting. There's a Morthagi problem here. All the Sweltering Stars by Douglas Austin.
When the moon's gone, all the stars seem happier.
Reminds me of a tavern hall before your face darkens the window. Tarwin, shh, he doesn't know.
Anyway, it's a good omen. The brightening stars.
You believe in omens, Kilter?
You start to. Spend enough time alone. You start having conversations with existence. Omens, signs, fortune. There's as much out there as you're willing to find, maybe.
That's good. If it gives you confidence, I'd say, don't trust omens overmuch.
Hey, shooting star. Oh, this is a % chance. Tarwin's got the best, so I'm gonna have her do it. Tarwin tries to remember the tale of the Starman, but ends up telling the story of Telestra Starborn instead. It's a good story. Damn. I wonder if I should have Hemshade do it. There's no going back, but damn. That was a transformation opportunity, and I missed it. Because I rolled low and picked the wrong character, probably. It's disappointing. Morthagi's probably confused, like, why are you helping said humans? Business to attack. So we got that watchman there. And down goes the bone collector, but it did say we can make another one. So it is not as tragic as like if the dog were to die. Let's see. Infuse with this one. Then we're gonna shut this down. Looks like Kelter's the first one to level up too. Looks like he's got so either armor shred attack or a leap. We're gonna take the leap. Stunt chance. If he's gonna be leaping, we want that involved. We're gonna give him a stunt chance. The weldling. Those things are dangerous. They spit fire everywhere. They're not nice. So it's the first year of summer. It's fall now. We found some more Thrixl. The Bone Bloom Tannery. Splinter by Douglas Austin.
Hey, I got a splinter.
You say you got a splinter?
Or it got me, but yes, I got a splinter. You got a splinter. I got what looks like.
We're stopping for this?
I got a mean splinter, see? Sliding past an elm. I've got a bunch of splinters out in my day. I'll have a look.
Tannery was just up a bit further, so should this be our priority?
Wow, that's some splinter. The more I look at it, the deeper it seems to wiggle.
Not sure which to pick. Go ahead and flip the coin for this one. Let's interact with it.
This won't hurt a bit. Hey, wow! Oops. But here it comes. Painless and easy. Enough! There. Got it.
Come Pimshit holds the long, wet wood filament up to the light.
More like a knife than a splinter.
Pimshit places it into a corded pouch and places it in Tarwin's hand.
Got the blood we share on it. Whatever happens, it's a memory.
And with that, they carry on to Bone Bloom Timber. Okay, courage buff. Fire spirit. That's nice. Tier 1 Fire Wand. Let's go. The Slender Cherry Whip. On stunt, damages up to 3 nearby enemies. Hell yeah. That actually belongs now. This wagon here, it's got textile in it and interfused to it, and we're going to use this one. Intensify. Just like move. Scald. She will attack twice. Okay. Something really annoys at me. Yeah. Tarwin is now a Bloodhorn Mystic. She's leveled up. So the Black Grim Sickle first is occupying tool, potency. So she got a magic staff. She got a magic wall. Just to replace the walking staff. The Forest Grieves by Douglas Austin.
You get this sense that the forest grieves. What do you get? I think of the Sultan mourners. You know how the coastal people will forbid light in the house for a full year when a family member's died? I'd heard of that. The forest, I think, has its lights out, and I'd like to see it lit again, hear the birds laugh, and catch the blurs of little scampering things.
Hemshay thinks about that as they move on. Alright, all that's left is the main quest area here in Jade Cypress Wood. Trail News by Douglas Austin.
It's been how many days? Winter's practically done. Did we really wander all this way senseless?
The fire carves night out of logs, or carves light out of logs.
Why do I feel everything I knew before is long ago and far away? Looking into the fire too long.
I look for better memories when I'm afraid or hopeless, but I often fail to find them.
I suppose we'll have to make them. One of those clinging nights that are hard to slip out of. Mind if I get some more light? Not to kill your moment, but scoot over. Make room, make room.
Time wanders. Their piled tinder drains to a scatter of the most interesting pieces, the ones they're reluctant to burn. Tarwin's able to translate a large section of the archaic text. A little later,
But I just don't know if it's more than a picture book. There's a reverent quality to the way that the Curans write about these monsters. It's beautifully considered, and there are aspects that are interesting, but
Think it's time we all lay our heads down.
who's this? Outlaws? Poachers? Oh. Wait, those look like the printer's girls.
the hill painter's approach is noiseless.
Evening, you three. Can a friendly heart find a friendly fire in these woods?
Kelter clears the shrinking fire in a bound.
Behind me, you two.
Wait, isn't that... Medessa Tavern. Forgive me. We know this woman. That's us. Mom was Lanessa Lockless.
I think I'm going to do my destiny.
Forgive me. I remember your last name. Glad to see you're well. But odd you're But odd you are all the way out here. From the Lockless Prince shop, right? That's us. Mom was Liana Lockless. We know this woman. This lady was obsessed with our mom. No, I mean...
Excuse me.
No, I needed printing done.
They introduced themselves around the fire.
When was I at your shop last? Can't have been too long. Been at least 2 circuits of the seasons. Oh, you remember. Probably remember my money, huh? I remember you guys were starting to compare notes. My sister's rarely interested in mundane things like that. Probably remembers you didn't pay in full. I see. Well, whether I did or didn't, who can say? But yes, you two put my last book together. After I went expecting your mom, Leona delighted in her work, and almost to a fault. Whether you tried to pay extra, she refused it. Good woman. I'm still sorry she's gone. One time but sorry. Anyway, came wandering this way and saw your fire. I have to tell you, the forest is dangerous these days. Things have come crawling out of...
Do you know of the Thrixl?
You know of them.
Have you seen them? Where? What can you tell us?
Was tracking a whole stream of them. Didn't seem wise to catch them, if I'm being completely honest. I traced the lines to a terrible conclusion. Their heading was unmistakable. Bumblebloom. They're heading...
Oh my god, my voice. I'm so glad this is the last one for the episode. My voice is getting tired for the morning. You can tell. I can tell.
I was able to get around them. Those Thrixl. Get a warning to the townspeople. But, going by the tone of their response, I doubt they fled. I don't think they believed me. Is this happening?
How well do you know these lads?
How well do I, Mantis Tavern, know these lands?
That same night,
You are that hill painter? Who come to town sometimes? I think I remember.
Sounds like me. Sounds like me, though I should clarify. I wasn't born among them, the hill painters. Was found in bad shape, rescued, and took to their way of life. Started collecting their love, getting volumes printed, bringing them back to them.
Got them printed by Pemshe's mother? Now I see.
Yeah, those two, Pemshe and Tarbin, were raised by the worthiest of souls this side of the stars. I'll always think that losing her for a mother would break me sometimes, would break something in me. You clearly have something else you want to ask.
Well, yeah. I had a teacher, far from here. Came from hill painting people. Lee Rafe Trot.
Lee? Thrixl. No, sorry. It's no one I've heard of.
As I suspect, was the slimmest chance. Anyway, think you can kill Thrixl?
Yeah, Thrixl if that's what's needed. My adopted people have legend of Thrixl, but legend is all I believe they bear.
Do those legend include a Mothman?
You're going to say you've met the Mothman?
You too?
I have to believe you're pulling my leg, right? The Mothman now? That is a tall tale.
Alright, so looks like I still can't secure. But I need to return to here, so let's get everybody back. Because something is off. New calamities. There's the bard. That's what I was dreading. Play button.
Bottlewell Mill. That old guy would always scowl when he saw me on the road. Bitterness found an easy seat on him. It's horribly quiet. This is what it's like coming home.
Something here isn't right.
This chimney smoke can't be abandoned.
Nothing out of place. There's no damage. The only sound are boot scrapes, feeble breeze, and their own talk.
That feeling of being disjointed from time and earth, it's telling enough, isn't it?
What is it? Tell us. No birds.
Into the town center they file. A cloud-cased sun renders the world in dreary, bloodless hues. Oh, visitors.
Who is that? The mayor. At least he's...
Welcome to Bumblebloom. This is one of the towns.
What are you saying, one of the towns?
It's definitely one of the towns that exists, isn't it? Hey!
Schoolmaster. Hey. You still owe us for... Why do you look like that?
I'm lost. I'm lost. I think I'm lost.
It's eerie. They're obviously wrapped in some kind of spell or curse.
A fly buzzes by. A rasping noise starts, stutters, and skips. It comes from nowhere and everywhere. Under Their Shroud by Douglas Austin. My bad, I forgot to mention the title. As if a cat's snagging his claws through the fabric of creation, reality snaps, runs, and violently curls. Bits of truth begin leaking into view.
Is that a person? It's the miller. Old Farbreck Bottlewell.
That Mothman warned us what we'd see.
There's so many flies.
Death! We have to run! Death! Finally, the real town of Bumblebloom spills into view. Like a half-eaten corpse, dumped from its shroud.
Back, old fool. Hide.
How many horrors have they visited on these people? Why?
The horrors are far from done.
Oh, by any and all gods!
It stumbles through fly clouds. Jesus, that's terrifying.
No. Lee? Madam Wraithtrot. Lee Wraithtrot. Are you?
Careful, I don't think she's herself.
Fear and chaos descend. This is wild.
All right.
What an epic mission. I want to make sure I hit the time of peace. Or at least get to the point I can start securing area. I feel like I'm in a tutorial right now. I did just get my Dessa, and I've been kind of railroaded this whole time. So, it's very possible. Oh, still got the water bow. Let's go. There's an awakened thrust.
Madam Wraithtrot, do you even know me?
Tripping Towards Perfection by Douglas Austin.
Still too much arm, boy. Power from the trunk.
I don't have a trunk.
Your elbows flying like a kite.
Here I come.
The clang of steel. With a wobbling whirl, his sword flies. And he falls.
Come, Keltar.
Mistress Wraithtrot, I'm sorry. I keep fixing one thing, screwing up another.
We fall down all the time. That's why we get good. Why we have to get good at it. Perfection's a long way off. But if we keep tripping forward, we'll fall closer and closer to our goal.
blessing I had at your hands didn't prepare me for this.
Kill me.
And down she falls. That's intense.
I almost totally forgot that was a thing.
boxed in this whole time. Stunt, which emboldens everybody. I'm so glad I took the heal. So we've got the 2 bards down here and the 1 bard up here, it looks like. I'm gonna have my mans jump down here, Kelter's gonna have them both. They did not like that. Got some 10 health right now. To hit it, so the dogs are getting up for the morning. That's the other reason we're just about done for the day. Everybody's getting ready to wake up here. Illuminate that lamp. I can take out this bard. Interfuse with the boulder. It's a little more sturdy. Shot, swap weapons again, regular shot, I had a feeling it would be blocked. Just walked up and sliced it, she's done, she's had enough. He's blocked, but the discus gun is going to hit it from the bottom. Now Kelter presses attack forward. She's going to splinter blast. Oh my god! The fact that everybody lived. Medessa and Tarwin are now rivals. A Minotaur's Axe. Spell damage 1 plus damage to deepists. Got an artifact already, I think. has got a real weapon that's worth upgrading. Waking to a Nightmare by Douglas Austin.
How about you guys hurt? Pimshe, Kelter, Tarvin. Starting to be that I can't remember a world without this mess.
Was the old place even worth saving?
As the fighting ends, the final threads of Thrixl madness fly to the winds.
They're survivors, look!
Now people begin to filter from their cold homes in confusion.
Poor old Farbrick Bottlewise, lying out here. His wife's got that inky blood on it. His knife's got that inky blood on it. Couldn't fool him, could they?
They'll gather the living and bury the bodies, the majority well into the process of decay. By night, most have had a chance to remember themselves, trying to piece together what happened. An impromptu council is held in the home of the schoolmistress.
Under the spell, it all made sense.
Wish that reasoning was clear to me now.
At least the bits of images we remember feel solid. All us folks they left alive left us in charge, maybe to fool passes through.
And the young ones they took. What'd they do with them?
Like that to any good that knows.
Kelly, Dolan, Fiona, and Spreeland, Arthur, Eluna, and Gale.
And all the rest. Yes, they're away like cattle.
Thrixl took them. So they didn't kill them. What do they want? Why Bumblebloom? Why wasn't it just the kids? The whole of one puzzle. It's just the first piece and the next. Finding them will be difficult work, and very likely unrewarding. But who else will do it?
They resolve to search for the missing ones, the young. There will be no peace, no joy, no relief. A season of terrible hoping will follow. Wow, so that is chapter 1. That's grim. And that felt like a short intro chapter. That's like super grim. So I earned 8 legacy points and not a whole lot of resources because I couldn't secure anything. I don't know why. So spring has passed. My victory has undermined their efforts, but not by much. Spring gives way to summer. The very night of the battle, Kelter set flame to the twisted body of his one-time mentor in a fallow field.
Don't worry, Lee. I was never so wish-blind as to think you were truly alive. In a sense, I'm glad I found you. I'm glad it ended here.
He wouldn't stop working to clean up the town. He'd scour the hardest for signs of the lost. Medessa sought the help of her people, the hill painters, to look for the missing ones of Bumblebloom. Kelter Broad was the most skilled tracker she knew. Another Kelter. Hey, look at that. Kelter could only speak to what he hadn't seen. Mark of any passage.
Remember though, Thrixl unlike in the quarry. The province of all sense and sign may be in their governance. We'll stay watchful.
He looks like he's got a legendary bow. It's got a sparkled upward ties, it looks like. Weather that season was bright and perfect, but it only saddened those left to see it. Pemshe and Tarwin made a rapid study of anything they could find, anything that might relate to the Thrixl or their aims.
Hey, little owl. Hey, Tarwin. What is it, Cricket? We're powerful now. This is our calling, and our gift, our opportunity, even amid all the bad that's happening. Talking about our mystical whatever. I hear you. For me it's... Questions are easy. I just wish I could provide any answers. You know I struggle with decisions, picking an ideal path, and that's when I have more information. We're travelers trying to set a course without a compass. I do miss Mom. Disagree. Oh no. My mind wandered. I'm just worried. Days are passing. I'm not finding anything useful. Yeah, me either.
Transformations. Advance Medessa's transformation. So it looks like Medessa gets a Gorgon pet from her transformation of a petrified leg. Yeah. And then Kelter further his woodwind transformation. So let's make sure everybody's got armor. That's the tier 1 armor. And she's got an axe. So we're not gonna disregard the fact that she's wielding an axe that gives spell damage and additional damage to Deepest. That's just like flat armor. Oh, I've unlocked a leaf trap. That's cool. I think the Raven... Oh, jeez, it's gonna cost a lot. I think the spare bolting is going to be the best option for now. And then for Tarwin, she's got that wand. Which is spell damage. It's going to be more expensive regardless. I think the raiment. Everybody's got at least one artifact weapon. I'm okay with that. Artifact water. Just a straight artifact. His is a leaf, so it's not an artifact. But I like his. I think I'm gonna give them an offhand spellbook. She's got Blizzard, but she's using a two-hand weapon. Actually, I think I'm gonna give Tarwin the spellbook. If I can. It's gonna be the last of my points. Since she's got the fire, let's give her a fire book. Alright, that's it. We are broke. Exhausting all other avenues. Hope of finding the young folk has fallen to scattered query and ill-spired quest.
Crumbling and all. It's a pretty place, especially in this light.
Kelter leads Medessa to Eldstone, where at least Thrixl had once definitely been.
Not here to admire the sights, though. We're not here to admire the sights, though.
No, I suppose not.
They give much of the day climbing and slipping among cure and rubble. The lines and learning of these ruins make it easy to lose focus and wander. From time to time, they are forced to call out in order to find each other.
See that silvery stuff on the ground? Molting, maybe. And yeah, that's all I've really found. So I'd say the Thrixl haven't been here in some time.
Maybe my life's consigned to futile searches.
Or maybe you only have to open your beak, little bird, and whistle for a favor. Scouring for lost chicks, I take it. I don't believe it. It's the
Mothman.
Take a good long look. I'm well worth seeing.
What do you want?
A very enticing question. But as the badger often says, before breakfast, shall we get to eggs? Or did we wake only to bark and mud muddle?
You have something to share.
Have I not made that clear? But you do so provoke me to prattle. I'm in a bit of a rush myself. Dauntless and wanderlorn by my very nature, the idea was a weather-sown seed. I felt called to take myself north, a windingly west. And that is how I happened upon these chicks of yours. I saw them there huddled and afraid, and dwindling in number. It's not a good place where they are.
You saw them.
And you didn't help them. You seem to assume I can walk into any den of Thrixl and simply rifle through the cupboards. I am flattered, but I must humbly admit my talents have eventual limits. Remember your own limits too, precocious birds. Your enemy is well beyond.
Yeah, I'll remember.
You stoic old truce, how peppy, very well, by font of Warham Northwest. In the wood marsh, an ancient glimmer scene lies in a hidden hollow. Glimmer scene, I shall explain more in a moment, but first, here, you must look for trees with my mark on them. I leave it now, upon this stone.
The Mothman's glyph gleams to a certain tilt of the light.
And that's when he went his own way. If there weren't lives in the balance, I'd say we should be tracking that Mothman instead.
I know the old font and the wood marsh. It is a long journey, but it's makeable. Yes, but what? But Glimmer what?
The passage of time will cost lives, but clearing Thrixl sites will disrupt the enemy's web and help more folks survive. They leave as soon as they can. Every idle moment is haunted by loss. The shadows deepen. All monster groups will draw an extra monster card in every battle. Oh man. So, Assault Font Warmham, which is this. So I have to explore my way here to assault this. But if I want better resources and stuff, I have to come back here to... I can prepare defenses and build stations now. And I have 2 places I can recruit. So I got a bunch of shit to do. And the Thrixl are stalled for 22 days. 37 townsfolk will survive if I clear a Thrixl site. Which, this is a deepest infestation. This is a Thrixl infestation. Oh man. I definitely gotta recruit somebody. But I have no legacy points either. This is gonna be rough. So this is where chapter 2 is gonna start off. Talk about daunting. So thank
you guys for joining, and that was our episode.